Yes, it is.
I'm Ward Kuhn. I've been involved with Habitat for over 30 years. I was one of the initial incorporators of the Traverse region affiliate in, I guess, about 1986. The growth of the program and the idea behind it, was significant at that time. We built a house and we sell it to people that promise to pay and that we don't charge interest. The first home, I think, is a home that we built for Rochelle Thomas and her family down in Interlaken.
This one.
I was homeless. I had my kids and their house burnt, and that was like the last straw.
We would rent someone's summer cottage in the off season because we could afford it, and then we would camp in a tent June, July, August, go back to the cottage, and we did that 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So I am very pleased to introduce Shelley Thomas, our first partner, family member.
My sister found an article, I believe, in the Record Eagle about Habitat.
I mean, Jake and I grew up there. Our prime childhood years, I don't know, from 10 till, I think I moved out when I was 21 or 22. Maybe.
22.
Jake moved out. He moved
I was in and out. I was in and out.
Yeah, right.
Until I was probably 23 or 4. I remember turkeys in the backyard,
oh, yeah,
and feeding raccoons out the door,
yeah,
with Oreos out of your hand.
Every Christmas. The tree went in the same place. It was there for 20 years. The people there that helped, there's no way to say anything. I mean, it's just thank you.
We have a core group of 8 or 10. Getting to know them and working with them has been an extraordinary experience for me. We've developed some great friendships. We have a great time working on the job sites. We were building a house in Kingsley for a gentleman, and he had had kind of a rough go of things in his life. He was working alongside one of our older volunteers. The older gentleman was probably in his mid to late 70s, and they were out in the hot sun putting up siding. The young man that we were building for looked at this older gentleman. Sweat was running off from him, and he said, "What is it that brings you out here in this kind of weather to do this work for somebody else?" The older gentleman said, "We're doing this for the Lord." He decided that he was going to do something worthwhile with his life, and he was going to change things and do more to help other people. And it changed that young man's life.
Because Habitat requires the Habitat partner family to substantially contribute to the construction of the home. So, if you're out there working, you're usually shoulder to shoulder with members of the family that are going to eventually live in the house.
The people that were helping me with my home had just as much pride in what they were doing as I was by getting this home and helping build. It's just awesome. I believe it was in '95, a single mom of 3 kids. Was living in Kalkaska in my great-grandmother's home, about 100 years old. And when it rained outside, it rained just as hard inside. When they did the house dedication, these ladies made 4 quilts. And when they were opening up the quilts, Caleb latched on to one of the quilts. He says, "That one's mine." He has taken that quilt everywhere with him. He actually asked me to ship it to him in Iraq while he was stationed there. He was in the Marine Corps for 8 years, and that quilt has gone everywhere with him. As a single mom, it made me feel so much better that I could provide a safe, warm shelter for my kids.
The Depot neighborhood itself is really unique because all of the families have gone through the exact same process. And that mold really binds all of us together as a family, so to speak. It's just extended. All of the houses face each other. We have a community courtyard instead of the traditional neighborhood where the backyards are all separated by fences and nobody gets to know each other. This place saves us money through solar panels, only electric production, and extreme insulation throughout the ceiling, the walls, and underneath in the floor. Our electric bill is now under $10 a month. Previously, it was $300 a month. Because we helped build the house, it just gives a sense of pride and ownership, and it's ours.
The amount of stress that just went away, knowing that, okay, if it rains, I don't have to get out 12 pots and pans to catch all the leaks, you know. It just was like, oh, let it rain, it's fine. I don't know how to really put it in words other than just pride and self-confidence just went through the roof when you are a homeowner. It's just awesome. You have to experience at least once in your life.
A number of people have said to me over the years that you can't imagine what that meant to us. And so, you know, even one house can make a big impact in terms of people. So that was always you know, a great reward for what we tried to do.
To this day, I think about it because that was home. I was a single mom there. We all had lives there, so.
It was the platform for her to stand firm on, to move into realizing what her dreams had always been.
The energy-saving aspects of the house create a savings, a buffer in our home economics that we have. And I can actually afford to save not only for the repairs and upkeep of the house, but I can also take and save for my kid's future, and I can advance their lives like every parent wants to do.
These young kids can say, hey, we have a really nice house, you know, and we have a home now.
We can have friends over.
We can have friends over. We belong. We, you know, it's just a darn good feeling, you know.
To explain the feeling that I have, it's about being a dad. We lived in a 40-year-old house trailer that was literally caving in around us. The bathroom was a trampoline. And now, with the house, my family is safe and we're secure.
And have them tell you that their kids that you saw when they were little, when you were building the house, they're now graduating from college and that kind of thing. It really, you know that having had a decent place to grow up in, it can make a real big difference in the lives of kids.
can't believe we have a house. I like that I have a lot of trains because I have some wooden trains and narrow gauge and trains too. Trains going along the tracks, that's the bestest thing I like.
Lucas, what do you want to be when you grow up?
An engineer driver.